two, one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Powerball SEA Esports official podcast. My name is Index. I am joined today by some of the guys over at SEA Esports, the contributors and the members and stuff. We've got Red Ron here with us. How are you, Red Ron?
Sup? Still sad about the Eaglesong, but oh well. Didn't take a bath because of that.
Wow. That's dedication. We also got Mephy over here. What are you doing there, Mephy?
What's up, guys? If you guys are very sad about EG, I'm actually very happy today. My chicken is the winners for this
OG.
major. Yep. They are my chickens, and they won.
All right, and we've got Scrawn as well with us. How you doing,
Hey,
my
guys.
good sir?
Pretty happy. I mean, I grew to love Jerax during his tenure in Liquid when I'm a Kuroki fanboy.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm pretty happy of the success he's had with OG, with Liquid or no Liquid.
Mhm.
So overall, it's a good season.
All right, and we also have Overdrive from Overdrive Esports. He's doing the producing today, so give him a shout out, give him a little bit of love over there. All right, all right. First off, we've got a lot of things to talk about. It's actually just one single thing, but it's a lot. So Boston Majors just ended approximately, maybe even less than 12 hours ago. Yeah, 12 hours ago. So yeah, this episode is dedicated to the post Boston Major. So let's start off with our prediction video and how we did on the prediction video. Personally, I think I did pretty good. I got like 6 to 8 correct predictions. That's 2 levels, a level and a half, 2 levels. What did you guys get?
I got only like 4. I got only like 4.
What? Yeah, the other guys.
Yeah.
What do you do? How did you do?
Come on, guys. Like mine. Seriously, when you were trying to do the predictions, I had initial placements already, but I got really busy last week. I forgot to change some of them, and guys, when I placed which team will win, I actually placed their execration for the logs,
Wow.
and I haven't changed that one. I was supposed to go
Bad.
with OG.
That feels bad, man.
Oh my
Seriously, I was really going for OG
Mhm.
to win to win the tournament, but I forgot to replace some of my picks here. And come on, that was 2.5 levels.
Yeah,
That's sad,
yeah.
man.
All right. So, yeah, what was actually one of the bigger surprises for you guys? That actually won in the predictions here, because one of the biggest surprises for me, I've got two, is the most picked hero is actually Rubik, and the hero with the most lasted average is Naga Siren. Even though I got that prediction right, I didn't think that she would get played 5 games minimum. So, what do you guys think? What was the surprises for you here?
There were definitely a lot of experimentations. With regards to drafts, I think I personally think Wings played a good part in making the other teams uh, shake their drafts a bit. Well, everyone. Well, Wings was a team to beat for everyone, since they are the previous TI champs. They are the current TI champs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, based on my predictions, I think Ad Finem was the bigger surprise because some of the results were them. Like the team that wins the longest game, Ad Finem won that. Team with most assists in a game, Ad Finem won that. So really, really messes up my predictions. But I feel good about them, and they won our hearts, and
Mhm.
I hope that they're going to be successful in the future.
How about you, Mephy?
Yeah, it was kind of a sad moment. Um, I really picked a lot in the team portions of my predictions. I mostly picked Virtus Pro, but unfortunately they didn't succeed to my expectations. Just I think the hype was getting into me last time, so maybe that was my fault. And I also picked a few wings teams as well. So unfortunately, all of my betting teams are kind of like not 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 playing there well. So unfortunately, I have bad predictions in my teams. But my heroes, they're good. I had the Naga Siren for last hits and highest GPM. I mean highest
Last is average.
last hits. Yep. And
Yeah.
most of it is okay. So
Mm.
still for my players, it's good. And for my tournament predictions though, most of it is actually correct. So I'm getting the hang of this one.
Yeah. All right. So much for our prediction video. Hope you guys actually kind of sort of followed us because we got a lot correct in the tournament part of the predictions. So yeah, you can thank us for every single EXP that you got from your predictions. So next up, we're talking about the majors. But before we talk about the actual major, let's talk about the pre-major drama. So we all know LGDFY and IGV, I think, or had a lot of some of their players from the main squad actually didn't get into the actual tournament because visa problems, and the biggest thing that happened in before the major even actually started is execration getting replaced by LGD, the main squad of LGD, completely just destroying the hopes of the Filipino squad there. So yeah, talk to me about what this actually means. How do you feel about visas, kind of being a hurdle to, for these teams to go to these big land tournaments?
It's kind of sad though. Um, every team that gets invited to the TI or any major always have these problems.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the location as well. Some of the majors we don't have any problems because it's not in the United States. But if there's an event in the United States, this is a problem. It's really the immigration of United States because Dota 2 is not considered as their visas are not yet considered like the League of Legend players. They have like P1 visas for athletes,
Mm-hmm.
and Dota 2 players have like just business class visas. So the push there is that we need to lobby the change for Dota 2 in the United States in the immigration side. We need them to consider or to classify Dota 2 as a legitimate sport. So I guess that's what I think about the visa issues about.
Yeah, there were a lot of disappointments that came in the Filipino community with execution being swapped out with LGD because of visa issues. For me, it's kind of like a mixed feeling for me. I'm kind of disappointed because execution wasn't able to participate in the Boston major itself. So but pretty sure I'm kind of hoping that maybe maybe the Dota admins or whatever maybe they should kind of like like help out execution maybe in the next meter. Maybe they'll get invited or something like that. Maybe some other tournament they get something to compensate for what happened with execution because I don't know, it's a big loss. But I'm just really hoping that there might be some compensation from there.
Right. Actually want to throw it over to Scrawn right now. Actually want you to think about if you were to put yourselves in execration shoes. You were directly invited to the Boston Majors. Um, but you somehow you managed to not be part of the major. How demoralizing is this as execration? What do you think is the current morale of that team? Do you think that there's some internal issues that's brewing? You think there's probably a role swap or a player swap even? So if you're execration, what do you think they're thinking right now?
It's really disheartening, especially their most of Execration's players are pretty young. I mean, Abed 16, and I think Gabi is 19, 18.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, well, they're the ones who got denied from what I know. And also another player. Um, I'm not sure who. I think it's the Rap, Chemo. Okay. Then, so yeah, it's really disheartening on their side. Because I see this affecting their future journey through tournaments and forays through lands and different things. Or I hope that they are mature enough for their age to see this, to use this negative energy, to use this as a source of motivation to push through and to see that the fans were really sad. And it just goes to show that they have a lot of fans, not just in the Philippines, but to the world of Dota overall. They have a lot of fans right now. So I hope that they use their time properly to train even further, to further advance, well, to prepare for the new upcoming meta, of course.
All right, so enough with the pre-major. Let's talk about the major itself. Let's start off with the group stage. 16 teams divided into four groups, so that's four teams per group. For Group A, we have DC, Wings Gaming, WGU, and LGD Forever Young. For Group B, we got Virtus Pro, Newbie, Team NP, MVP Phoenix. For Group C, it's LGD, the team that replaced Execration, Complexity, Evil Geniuses, and Team Faceless. For Group D, it's OG, eHome, Ad Finem, and IG Vitality. Let's break it down, boys. Right, Group A, DC Wings, WGU, and LGD Forever Young. DC and Wings are the top two teams in that bracket. WGU and LGD Forever Young are the bottom two. Any surprises here, guys?
Uh,
I think the biggest surprise is Wings not taking top spot. Uh, they these were the two teams that did fight in the finals of TI6, DC and Wings, with Wings taking it 3-1, I believe. So pretty interesting. The DC actually they took out Wings fairly. Let's see what their match was. Oh, they didn't. Oh yeah, they didn't play him. You're right.
It's actually really funny because Wings Wings didn't really lose. Wings are still as unpredictable as they are, and I feel like the teams that go up against them still having a hard time in terms of fighting their drafts. In the draft, in the pick phases and the bans. But for some reason, they're just underperforming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I mean, Fate Pian isn't as sharp as he was back in TI TI6.
Mm-hmm.
I do hope they bounce back. They're one of the favorites in terms of entertainment. How entertaining the matches are, how entertaining their games are, due to their unconventional picks. So I do hope they bounce back.
Right, right. So, what do you guys think about WGU kind of sort of overperforming in this group? They took a game off Wings.
They're
um,
they're actually, well. they're actually they're actually really good. I mean, they've improved a lot, and from what I heard from them is they won most of their scrims,
Mm-hmm.
which is I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing because after they've won their scrims, I feel like all the other teams have finally grasped how they play and how they draft. I mean, I feel like they showed all their cards on the scrims, which led to their loss on which led to teams figuring out how their play style. But overall, they are the SIDEC and they are the TNC of this majors. They're the ones who overperform or beyond anyone imagined. I mean, a lot of people, personally, I know, pegged them to be on the last spot, just like how TNC was predicted to be last place during the majors, during the international.
All right. How about the rest of the guys? What do you think about this Group A as we wrap this up?
Yeah, WGU, I've seen a lot of their plays already, and I've seen that they were actually, yeah, I agree with you guys that they're really performing well. And I've seen a lot of, even though in the playoffs they were really struggling, but you can see like they're really persevering. They're really trying hard to win all of their matches, even though they're faced off with a lot of like super difficult teams like DC and Wings. I mean, come on, they're like the top two uh, TI placers. So imagine WG actually kind of performing way above their expectations when they're being faced off with two of the top tier teams in Dota. So that's
Mhm.
a really impressive. It's a really impressive thing that they did in this major. They really showed off what they could actually do and how they could adapt
Mhm.
with the environment that they had.
Mhm. All right. I would just like to cap this group off by reminding everybody that WGU did take a series off a wing, so that's a very big deal for me because it shows you what kind of an unpredictable team they are because they have not played against these teams. So not a lot of information is available for WGU. So let's move on to Group B. This is Virtus Pro, Newbie, Team NP, and MVP Phoenix. Virtus Pro and Newbie taking the top two spots over here. So Red Run, are you there, buddy?
Yep.
He is there. Okay, so what is the general consensus here for Group B?
Well, Group B, when you see it in in the paper, you'll always say that Virtus Pro will top this group. Team NP is the team that's fun to watch. Newbie is the team that we need to see if they're going to perform like their previous like the previous tournaments they were participating in. And MVP, you will see or you will ask yourself, is MVP still the Koreans overlords? So there's no surprise in the results. Virtus Pro taking the group with a dominating play, and New B surprisingly is still consistent, I guess, in the group stage. And NP, I really think that NP should have done better, but I guess it was not their lucky the group of death. What others are saying. So there you go, BP.
Yeah, I think against these teams, this is the best that NP could have done. Third place is probably the highest that they could have attained. Maybe second place is not out of the question, but against Newbie and Virtus Pro, you have a very low chance of
Yeah,
getting the second place.
yeah, that's the group of death, right?
That is up. I do think there's still another group of death, and I think it's the next group. But anybody else would like to say anything about the Group B?
Yeah, all I can say about VP is, I mean, all I can say about the groups the group stage for Group B is VP mostly dominated everything. So
Mm.
up until the playoffs, they didn't actually lose to any game. It
Mm.
was in the playoffs that they actually lost. So that's really their confidence was instantly boosted when they were in the group stages, and a lot of people were actually rooting for them, and fan base wise, they became like this unstoppable machine up until the playoffs. So it
Mm.
was really amazing how they performed in the group stage.
All right, Group C, LGD, Complexity Gaming, Evil Geniuses, and Team Faces. And I do think this is the group of death. LGD, surprisingly, nobody could have predicted. I don't think any of us here could have predicted that LGD would be taking top spot over Complexity, EG, and Team Faceless. With Complexity taking the second spot, that in itself is something amazing because there's EG here in this group. What is the biggest thing that we can take away from this group?
I think it was more of the strategy, or maybe EG wasn't actually trying to perform well in the group stages, so they're kind of like hiding their cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was their strategy, and also with group stages, it's kind of like, in a sense, the predictability of where you're going to be placed. If you're going to be placed on the left side or maybe the right side, or whatnot. So I think that was their strategy in this one, and they kind of like tried to hide their cards first, because in group stages you're not going to actually uh, be eliminated instantly. It's just kind of like how you're going to be placed on the playoffs. So I think they kind of went on for that strat. As for LGD, yep, they really performed well for this one. Also, complexity, but unfortunately, I was actually rooting for Team Faceless to kind of like for the C team to kind of like perform well. But unfortunately, with them dominating the C region in the qualifiers, unfortunately, when they're being faced off with top tier teams with this one as well. So not the way that I actually expected from them, but at least they tried. So
Mm.
good for them.
I want to throw it over to Red Ron and talk about complexity and evil geniuses. Uh, what can you say? Call 1-2 series over evil geniuses. Can
So,
you talk
so,
to me about that?
so you're really putting it in front of my face.
Yeah, NA
Okay.
teams.
Well, it's actually a surprise. I don't. I was really surprised when Complexity really manhandled EG with those games. But I guess it's what RTC said. EG performs better when they were facing more of a high caliber teams than those what you can say like bottom tier teams. And Cole was not looking so hot when they were going into the Boston Major, especially losing their one of the players, Justin,
Yeah.
placing him to Monkeys,
Mm.
and Cancel performed that games. So that's a silver lining in what happened there.
Mm.
We saw that Complexity can still perform. They surprise us with EG. So the next step is that Complexity should perform more consistently in the next tournaments. And EG, we all saw that after the group stages, they were surprising everybody with those big wins for I think Wings and VP. So I guess EG can take losses easily. So
Mm.
it's not too much of a
Lower bracket kings.
yeah, EG
Mhm.
is
Yeah.
but there's no lower bracket right now, right?
Yeah, they. I mean, like they can really take losses. They're
Yeah,
such a good team. Yeah.
yeah, they are. Yeah. So
Mm.
that's it. Cole
Mm.
deserved that games,
Mm.
but EG still have the you know the advantage or the experience to take or to be to be
To be
really
composed.
But
yeah
I think it's always been a thing for EG to not really show their cards up front unless it's in the main stage.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
Mhm.
I
All right.
mean, that's what I felt with I don't know, Warriors game Unity, and I felt like they were a bit too showy during the scrims and the group stages.
Yeah, and I really would just like to say, cancels Marana is maze balls. That's something to look out for in the future games of Evil Geniuses.
Well,
All right. Huh?
Zfrix
Right?
Mirana is awesome as well. He
Yeah, the
was
support Marana.
the support Mirana. Yeah, he was eating all the arrows,
Mm.
and he really showed that he's a good support for
He's
this division.
probably top top three supports in the
NA.
NA region right
Yeah,
now. I think
I agree.
definitely. All right, let's move on to the last group. Group D. This is a little bit of a flunky kind of group because it consists of OG, eHome, Ad Finem, and IG Vitality, with OG and eHome taking the top two spots. Scrawn, can you break down what happened here in Group D?
OG for me really is um got the best of the trade when with Liquid and OG trading places with Miracle and Jerax.
Mm-hmm.
Jerax is just performing at such godlike levels right now, and eHome, although eHome is really good and yeah, considerably, they're all veterans from what I see, and I think they've played together for quite a bit now. So a lot has been, except for Gardner, since I think he's the one who replaced Ice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. And then we have old old chicken and well old 11 and Lanham. They're they're really good at the positions they play.
Mm-hmm.
Although, although Ad Finem, I think it helped that not a lot of not they haven't really played with a lot of Asian teams from what
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that played a good role or a key to to their victory over IG Vitality,
Mm-hmm.
and at least they placed third, which is it's still bad, but taking a game out of this group is really good deal for Adfinem. IG Vitality has been a bit shaky. Well, they lost they what you call that? They had problems with they had visa issues.
Mm-hmm. Ah,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't. I feel like this isn't the whole IG Vitalia, especially they lost their captain, Super.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Although
that's yeah.
Burning did prove to be a good support. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, we all know Burning as a farming machine, but he did really well on the on support position.
Yeah,
That's about
that's
it.
very unfortunate for two of these teams, the Chinese teams. But hopefully the next the future lands or Valve events, there will be a little bit more clear cut way on how they will get their all of their team members together. All right, so let's sum up the group stages by let's see who overperformed and who underperformed in the group stage. Personally, I think the group that overperformed is maybe LGD. I gotta give it to them because they were not preparing to be in the Boston Majors, and yeah, they took number one place, first place in their group. For the underperforming team, I gotta say MVP Phoenix. We're kind of expecting a little bit more out of MVP Phoenix. Well, we don't expect anything from MVP Phoenix's game other than pure aggression, but I am kind of disappointed that they're fourth and they lost their games 1-4.
Mm, I feel like the ones who underperformed heavily is MVP. I mean, they finally got Forev back,
Mhm.
and I was expecting really good results having their squad whole again, and just yeah, that's a bit unfortunate.
Mhm.
Well, for me, I think it's faceless.
The underperform.
The underperformed, yeah, yeah, you can argue that, but you could also say that the teams that they have been facing during all their short time in SEA is is not really is a whole different playing field from, let's say, facing the likes of OG, EG, and the sort.
Yeah, but if you actually see like if you're going to into tournaments such as this, you're going to expect that you're going to face a top tier team at one point or another. So faces should be very aware of that fact. So they should be ready for it. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, they were the one who underperformed in this. For me, they were the ones who underperformed this
So,
tournament. So
do you agree with me,
yeah,
Matthew?
yeah, I agree that Faceless was the one who underperformed. Statistically speaking, they were the ones who has all the losses. So all the losses are, so,
Yeah,
uh,
it shouldn't be this bad.
yeah,
I see.
exactly.
I know what you're getting at. It shouldn't be this bad. I mean, regardless of their most of their first place victories was on the Asian side, it shouldn't be this bad. I mean, Black is a very seasoned veteran, also Ice. And it it should have, well, it's understandable to expect more from them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I give them props for, like facing all of those difficult opponents. Like in the playoffs, they were faced with DC, and they also fought off EG in the group stages. So I give them props for that kind of like learning experience for them to know how they could gauge themselves in the future, like facing off with top tier teams such as DC or EG.
Mhm. All right. So we're done with the group stages, guys. Now we move on to the main event. First things first, the round of 16. So I'm gonna be uh, kind of running down through what games we had here for the round of 16. First game is Virtus Pro versus IG Vitality 2-0. Evil Geniuses and Team Wings 2-0 in a couple of 45-minute games, completely losing to WG Unity 0 and 2. OG completely sweeping MVP Phoenix 0 and 2. Digital Chaos sweeping Team Faceless 2-0. eHome losing the Team NP 2-1. So NP beat out Team eHome. Ad Finem beating out Newbies. This is a pretty big one. 2-1. And LGD Forever Young beating their main squad, LGD Gaming. So if you had to pick a single series here to talk about, guys, which one's pretty interesting?
EG wings, guys. For me,
Yeah,
it's EG.
obviously.
Come on. We
Yeah.
I always thought that Wings or EG will win the tournament or the Blossom Maker tournament, but I was surprised that they get they got matched up. So I need to choose with the winner. So uh, I chose EG and I was rooting for it. And I really expected Wings to perform or dominate other teams. And I thought that they would beat EG because Wings always gets EG's number. So I was surprised that EG with an upset. I believe it's an upset. Wings is considered as the most or the best in the world. So that's for me is a surprise series.
Hmm.
Yeah, EG versus Wings. Like I would expect Wings to maybe win like one game, but EG actually just completely dominated them in the matches. That was really good for them in eliminating Wings at such an early round. And but what I could actually say here is for me the most surprising one. I mean, I don't I won't I'm not going to talk about the round of 16, but I'm talking about like generally Ad Finem was
Mhm.
kind of like uh, the wonder star here in this tournament. So I really like their plays, and then I really like how they eliminated. There was a surprise elimination from Newbie. I mean, Newbie, come on, it's a top tier team, and
Mhm.
they just actually beat them. So it was kind of like a surprising matchups for them. But
Mhm.
a lot of people are also saying that they were actually placed very luckily in in their matches. So like they were placed off with Newbie, they were placed off with LGD Forever Young. But for me, it's not like that. It's more
Yeah,
on how they're really confident and they're how really they're dedicated in winning these tournaments are for
Mhm.
them.
I feel like that's just bullshit. Newbie and LFY are good teams at their
Yeah,
own accord.
Mhm.
yeah,
I mean, they're they have they have top tier players as well on their team.
yeah,
They
exactly.
may not. Oh, they may not. I mean, Newbie. I think people are just taking it out because Chuan's not no longer there. I mean, Newbie has always been associated with Chuan, but regardless, they are a top tier team with top tier players. So I think that's just bullshit. Advinem really proved themselves that
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
can go toe to toe with tier one teams.
Yeah, maybe I'm just reading posts like maybe they're like American based or like European based. So, but China, I mean,
I
come on,
think
China gaming. So
it's the same with EG. You see people complaining that EG is always hated, but at the same time you'll see that people are their EG is also well loved. It's just that the fan base for EG is really, 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 really big.
What the
EG's
hell?
fan base is just really, really big, and when your fan base is that big, you'll expect that it'll have some sort of divide.
Mhm.
Sumil, the most American
Yeah.
Pakistan.
I just wanna I just wanna hop on this Ad Finem versus Newbie train because they are my pick for what I want to talk about because Newbie, aside from Virtus Pro, Evil Geniuses, Wings, and arguably Digital Chaos, Newbie's name is definitely the next on that list. They are a top four or top five team. Personally, I think they're probably the third best team in this entire tournament. So Ad Finem, these Greek boys coming out of nowhere and beating Newbie 2-1. And let me just check yeah, these are 30-minute games too. Beating Newbie in a couple of 30-minute games is a big deal for
It's
me.
that's what I said earlier that I think Adpenem capitalized on on the Asian teams not having any experience with them. What's sad is on the other side of the spectrum we have Team Faceless, whom even though they have well-known players, the Western teams don't really have any experience dealing with them aside from the summit. So I feel like it's Team Faceless couldn't capitalize on that surprise attack
I think
on.
I think the main difference between Faceless and Ad Finem was Ad Finem's been around for forever, months and months ago. Team Faceless formed just a few months ago. So
Yeah.
that's a big deal, I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, go ahead.
yeah, you could also say that Faceless, like what Rod said, that Faceless was facing C teams that I think are not as high caliber as the European teams that Adfinem are facing.
Mm.
So maybe Adfinem is a tier 2 team in Europe, but when you put Adfinem in Southeast Asia, maybe they're the most, they're tier -1 because they're stronger
They're
than
that high.
most of the. Yeah,
They're that high.
It may result to playstyle as well. Maybe Faceless just has just been really accustomed to the SEA playstyle.
Mhm.
Because different from what I've seen, different regions have some sort of different playstyle they get accustomed to.
All right. So, any more thoughts? The round of 16. Are we good?
Ah, yeah.
I think
We,
we're pretty good.
yeah, we're good.
All right. Next up is the quarterfinals. The first series, Virtus Pro getting beaten by EG 2-0. First game was a 19-minute game. So that's kind of dominance. EG show.
USA, USA.
WGU surprisingly putting up a little bit of a fight, but eventually getting beat by OG 2-1. Digital Chaos sweeping Team NP and Ad Finem again beating another Chinese team LGDFY 2-1. So guys, Virtus Pro they finally lost. I believe they were the favorites headed into the tournament. They were my favorites headed into the tournament. I'm gonna tell you that, and I think a couple of us as well. So they got beaten here at second round. What do you guys think about this round of 8 in general as well?
I I feel like I don't know how to feel about VP. They disappointed me with that. I mean, they played really good, but I was really hoping they'd run all these teams down. I mean, I like OG as well, but I pegged VP to win this all.
USA, USA, USA.
Who the
Yeah,
hell
yeah.
is
Well,
that,
in
dude?
that last game with no one buying a rapier and Sumail just dropping the radiance in favor of Blade Mail.
Dude, yeah, the
That was really
sniper
good. That
game.
was
Yeah.
Smail is the most American Pakistani ever.
Yeah, that decision with both decision making in that game was
and
pretty spot on.
I think
Gotta say.
VP didn't see that coming at all. The Blade Mail.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to Ron when that happened, and Ron was asking me why did BP choose to farm the jungle, even though
Yeah,
Sniper was sitting on a divine rapier and the racks or the lanes were pushing
and
in.
high net worth. He already had high net worth from what I saw. And
Was it
it's
really?
just
Yeah.
I feel like it was Ogre was way out of line. Ogre went back to get the gem. It was a newly purchased gem, and I think he was tier 3. Ogre was somewhere near tier 3, and there were Sniper was on the jungle with I think with another player. They were just really scattered in my opinion. You had a divine on your possession, and you know that there's a moonlight shadow on the hands of EG, and you didn't surround yourself with vision. I mean, the
Yeah.
ogre was just too far away.
In that position, I gotta think that you should never be outside of your base because you have the divine
It was
rapier.
just too greedy. Farming neutrals at that point was just too greedy.
Yeah, I agree with you guys on that. But the way I see it on that clash, on that last clash before the GG was called, I think maybe no one was with overconfident because he has a DR on his pocket, but he didn't expect actually was crit. He was the one who initiated the whole gank, like
Yeah.
with the disruption for that
Uh,
for sniper, and it was actually after that there was everything was just fell apart with that one. Maybe no one expected like maybe someone's going to gank him or something like that, or maybe he's going for that debated moment. Maybe because maybe they didn't expect that sniper already has a divine rapier, but
There
what
were a
they
lot.
didn't expect was crit going for that disruption.
he
So that
just
was
went in there and just disrupted him, and then the illusions plus the blade mail on the Optimus did the
yeah,
job.
exactly.
Yeah. See,
It was a
crit is
pretty reckless move. It was pretty
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
But there were a lot of questionable plays from no one at that particular game, especially the Hurricane Pike overextending himself.
Is that
That
the
was
one
the
jungle at the
Oh
bottom?
yeah,
yeah,
dude.
he
I
tried
remember
to
that
help.
fight.
He tried to help someone, then he
Uh-huh.
just Hurricane parked himself in the middle of all the enemies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
No,
they
no.
were under Moonlight Shadow in his defense, but
Uh,
that was just way too reckless. They were on the other side of the map, and he just used his only escape mechanism with no friends around him. That's just costly for them.
do you think that the pressure was getting into them or the nerves? Because I saw,
Absolutely.
I saw Ramses
Because of the
use
streak.
his BKB. No, I saw Ramses use his BKB.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if
yeah,
it's a
he
mistake
Yeah.
or it's I
the
don't know.
Chinese BKB.
He's just
Yeah.
testing it out.
Yeah, well,
Maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah.
but it's made in Russia. It's not made in China.
It's
Yeah,
the
but
same. They're all communists.
wow,
Anyway,
wow! Did you just say that? Are you kidding?
Red Run
US.
is going for that
USA.
racist, racist.
anyway,
Yeah, yeah. To answer Red Ron's question, I do think it's definitely the nerves because this is the first.
it's the nerves. They
Yeah.
they're on a streak. They're on a winning streak, like 11-0 win. I think was. I know they're on
Yeah,
a winning.
it's
Yeah, it
11-0.
was
They were.
11-0 winning streak, and when you're on that streak, either you're too arrogant or you're too scared. It's hard to contain your nerves on that kind of streak. You either feel like you're on cloud nine, or you feel like this day gonna be it? Is this match gonna be it?
Mhm.
Actually, more leaning on VP on being on the Cloud9 part. I think they were maybe overconfident because they made a lot of questionable decisions. Like in the first game, that 19-minute G called GG. I mean, they could maybe still try to, like, maybe work some kinks out. Maybe try to find out if maybe EG would be having like a slip up. But VP actually just called GG the minute that 90 mark, that 15-minute mark. So come on, I mean,
But,
I would-
But then,
yeah, I would really rather prefer you keep on fighting even though you're really losing, rather than calling it GG. Really,
well, some
really face.
guys were a school of thought that this game is over, even though it's still 90 minutes. We need to think about the next game, so we should GG out. That's the mindset of other people because they think that they could, they could fight.
Recover in the second game.
Yeah, they could recover. Like I remember PPD when he was still in EG. He's always calling out early GGs, and his team is recognizing that. If you watch the True Sight episode 2, they
Oh
were
yeah,
EG were talking about the game of EG versus eHome and TI, and they were saying that Peter or PPD was wanting to call GG, but Fear said that they could still stick around and fight it. And look what happened. They gave us the game of the year of So there's some pros and cons in calling out early GGs, but I guess it depends on the situation. Maybe in this case, it's not a good.
yeah, it's not a good decision for VP.
No.
All right. So we had like a big talk there, the Rhino 8. Let's head on over to semifinals. But yeah, let me just like to point out that WGU, they were fighting a little bit with the OG. Just like to
That
point
was
that
another
out.
surprise though.
Yeah, that was another big surprise for me.
Yep.
And as well as Ad Finem, because their entire run's like a really big mess of a. I don't know. So the semifinals, OG versus EG, they got beat quite handily. It seems as if EG never really got ahead in this series as they got swept 2-0 in a couple of 30-minute games. DC and Ad Finem, a little bit more interesting, but eventually Ad Finem sweeping DC. So, guys, what do you think about this? These two series. This was on
Well,
just like less than 24 hours ago.
Feels bad, man.
That's
Yeah,
just
all I'm
bad.
gonna say is with EG versus OG, S for place. Period. No comments.
The hook
no
shots. The hook shots was on point.
Slardar,
They-
Jukes. Holy
Yeah, but
crap.
it's really actually the hook shots because every time the EG wants to have a movement, S4 always gets the gank or the buffs in the back line, like the sports, and the sentry wards as well as
The vision game. There was
the vision game
not the
was
vision
really
game
important
there.
for OG, and they utilized it so much that Nick's assassin was terrible.
Wow. The X assassin was terrible. I like it.
That Rubik still on Vendetta was actually uh, one of the good plays there. They never EG never saw it coming. Rubik having Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
That game.
I really thought Universe is the most consistent and stable player of EG, and I was really surprised that the OG shut Universe down. Like in the
Mhm.
second game, he was still shut down. They went for the clockwork, but his hook shots were really not relevant. That
Yeah, not on point.
it
I
was
think
on
I
point,
think
but it's not relevant. Yeah,
yeah,
if he hook shots, he's dead. So I don't
It's
know what
kind of
happened.
hard for me. It's kind of hard to play Clockwork when there's an OD on the enemy team. It's it's just so when you hook shot and you cogs at that moment, it's really hard to get a grip on an enemy with an OD on the enemy side.
Mm-hmm. And one thing I'd actually want to point out as well in this let's see this series, the second game actually, they got OD. They got Ana on his OD, and that's definitely one of his comfort picks. Fly as well on his Dazzle if you want to go really old school there. I don't know if this was the S4 Slardar, but he seemed really quite. Yeah, no, wait.
No,
What?
S4 went
Jerax.
for
Yeah.
Jerax. S4 went for the
Yeah.
Darkseer, and Jerax
As
was
far
really
as really
yeah,
showing, just really
mm.
outperforming.
And we saw Jerax proving that he's the most or he is the best for position support out there. Even of course
Yeah,
Crit
back
with his
international, it was a bit of a tie between Crit
Crit
and
and yeah,
Jarak.
because they have
Jarak, but
similar play style. Yeah,
yeah, and now it's just wow,
yeah, Jerax
hands
is like
down.
yeah. Well, Crit is is the like the role 4 or role 5 of EG.
It
He's
may,
like
it
the
may,
comp
it may
guard,
be,
and
It's pretty
it may,
solid.
it may also be because of being the captain now. I mean, he has additional responsibilities to handle now.
exactly yeah.
yeah, and speaking of captains, I mean that second picks, the pick phase of the second game, it was really surprising. I mean, second pick for an alchemist, that was kind of like an easy bait for them. They really thought that the alchemist was I mean, was going to be picked by Anna, so they went for the counter pick Orisa. But what they didn't actually expect was No Tail was actually the one who's going to play alchemist, and they
And
Mhm.
it's
counter picked the middle, who is actually Sumail with an
Yeah,
OD, and they just dominated. That
Mhm.
was
exactly.
it was
a
actually
really
it was
good job.
actually a fighting alchemist, which is you don't really see every day.
Yeah,
I mean, even if you do see it, it seldom works.
Yeah,
And No Tail is one of those who's a really good fighting carry.
Mhm.
yeah. Even though in the early games, I've watched this match exactly. Like in the early games, the alchemist wasn't gaining a lot of runes because he was actually on the bottom lane, so there wasn't much rune provided on the game itself. But he actually still snowballed way into the mid game to the late game, so that was really good for him. It
He
The
didn't.
it's
surprised
really
item
big.
He didn't
the
die a
item
single
choice as
time.
well.
Yeah.
The
It's
item
really
choice was
because
a straight up radiance, which
mm,
He
yeah.
you know
didn't.
a lot of the casters,
then he
Merlini
went off the
commented on it.
core.
He
Then he
went
went. I
late
was
mail Octarine core.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah, but
expecting kind of like
his
a
first item was radiance, and
radiant.
a lot of Merlini commented that it was a very risky and scary pick.
Mm.
You're an alchemist without any some
That
sort
Without
of
any armor,
armor.
like yeah, I was expecting that you're going to go with armlet or or maybe some kind of like an armor based item.
Yeah.
But
I
he
think
went for the Radiance. That
yeah,
really
I
did.
think that's why after Radiance he went for Soul Booster but didn't finish. He had enough money to finish the Octarine Core, but he didn't finish the Octarine Core. He opted to buy a completed Blade Mail because he
Yeah,
knew that he
Who's
is
fighting?
pretty
Going to be
squishy.
very squishy.
He is a
Yeah.
squishy alchemist.
and it's actually the space also provided by the rest of the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
it allowed him to farm. It allowed No Tail to play like a carry in the Alchemist. Alchemist, if you give gold to it, you will really have those items. As like he got Regents for about like 11 minutes. That's
Mhm.
very
You got it at
And
fast.
12.
yeah, I think 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah, 10
12.
minutes.
12.
You got it at
Oh.
12.
It's really
Oh,
fast. It's a really fast Regents, and with an
standard.
Alchemist with the Regents, you could push out the lanes more, and EG will be pressured to react and do some movements, and those movements are very susceptible to mistakes, and that's what
Then
happened. They
the
uh,
again with the space creation, this a lot of space created for him. Jerax was all over the place in that one.
He
yeah,
had 16 assists in a 30-minute game, 23 and 7 final score.
with the
That just
Slugtar.
goes to show you that Jerax had 16 assists and 2 kills, 18 total kills and assists. That's 18 of the 23 kills. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And there's a I
Slark.
remember that part where that blind stun into the fog on the Morphling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That
I
was
saw
just
that. Yeah, and
everyone just shrieked.
RTZ was TPing, and
Yeah, he was
you know,
thinking.
Jerax with a predicted play, slithering
Yeah,
crashes
with the
right
stun.
away, and the rest of the team behind him, Morphling was like dead. Morphling
He's always
from
been such a
liquid to
flash
solid, man. I
player.
mean
So.
liquid to gas state. So,
Wow. Wow. Where'd that come from?
I just I don't know. RTZ was really trying his best. Just really sad. Anyway,
All right.
go on.
So, any thoughts about the other series, the DC and Ad Finem? I was not around to catch this series though,
I
Dude,
so
was
Ad
not
but
around
Finem,
as well.
Ad
yeah,
I was
Finem
not around as
was
well. I'm
Ad
sorry.
Finem was amazing, guys. Like from
let
the game one,
How did
um,
it went though?
let's
Ad
see.
Finem, yeah, sure.
40 minutes, 27 minutes.
Yeah,
So, kind of pretty
Ad,
dominating.
dude, Ad Finem was like from the first black hole in the first game, it went like Ad Finem's way.
Mm.
Then the second game, they were really dominating with the
I
roaming.
love the bounty.
Oh yeah, I remember this one. The Black Hole Enigma. The
Yeah,
Enigma.
I love the
Yeah.
bounty pick on. I'm glad to see a bounty pick. I mean, Osprog, please no more nerfs.
He's perfect the
you,
way he
you're
is,
not.
actually.
I'm not expecting nerfs, Scrawn. I'm expecting two Roshans.
What? Roaming
What?
Roche.
I
We
mean,
got a lot of
every,
time to talk about that in just a little bit. So yeah, any thoughts about DC and Venom?
Yeah, I really liked the first. I actually watched the first game. I just remember this one. I watched the first game. So the Enigma was a surprise pick from the Advent side. So they didn't expect um for them to have that Enigma because most likely it's going to be countered usually with the Warlock ultimate. So if in case that you started off with your ultimate like Warlock's ultimate, it's going to be countered with Black Hole and vice versa. So the the sets there, the first set, the initiations there was pretty unpredictable. Who's going to go first. And I think Ad Finem was just going to like waste the Black Hole even though it's just sucking in one person. It's still a good place.
All right. Should we move on to the finals?
Oh, oh.
All right.
Yes.
OG versus Ad Finem, game 3, huh? That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I can
Okay.
talk about.
My God, the God,
feels
that.
bad, man. I overslept on this one.
Oh my god, I
Oh my
was
God, feels bad.
screaming.
I
I
mean,
was,
it's a good
In the,
excuse for you if you like skip the first game and the second game, but you can't miss the third
I have to
game.
download. I have to download the replays.
I think there's already
Yeah,
one.
everyone. I kicked myself in the ass for this one. I overslept and
You
I'm
wanna
really
hear my
sorry.
you wanna hear my Audi Pixel impression in the game 3?
please,
Go ahead.
please,
You wanna hear it? Like
Yeah,
yes,
oh yeah.
let
please.
everyone hear it.
Yeah, when Earthshaker was punching the ancient. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
That
yeah,
was more
that's
girly, but well, okay. I could manage that.
That's pretty accurate.
yeah. He was
Guys.
like, you can feel the passion from his, table thumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, it was really
Was it?
amazing. What,
It
that's
was a
about it.
OD Pixel Merlini cast, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Odi Pixel Merlini.
was a good.
It was a good casting. And
Eminem and Martini.
yeah, and I actually just woke up starting with game three. So I caught more like the first half to maybe the second half. So that was a really good. I mean, if you could see MNT maybe next time's Echo Slams, like seriously, everything in that game is just on
It was,
point. I mean,
it
like
was
it's
crucial.
there was a
Yeah.
lot of exchanges.
It was orgasmic.
Like oh my
That's
god,
the
like
word.
we could talk about this like for hours. Like
Yeah.
there's like this Luna Divine Rapier. It was
Mm.
dropped. It was picked up by
Oh
Anna.
yeah.
Then
Oh my god.
Anna
And
diving
he
in the middle.
walked down mid
Yeah,
lane, and then he gave up the divine
he got
rapier.
Divine Reaper again. And that second buy for the Divine Reaper just to make sure
Yeah.
that even if Luna dies, there's going to be another one. And
There's another one.
God, everything there. Even for me, maybe next time, Earthshaker there was one of the most. Oh my God,
Yeah.
orgasmic. I was
Yeah.
actually I just woke up there. So it's like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I was already screaming so loudly. I woke up my brother here. I woke up my brother and he
Oh
was like
yes.
screaming at me like, "Shut up!
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut off the internet. Shut up."
Oh no, Overdrive.
Feels
One of the bigger plays here in this game is actually Rubik stealing like Omni Slash 3 times, I believe, something like that. It's absurd, honestly.
Yeah.
Jerax with Rubik is just
Also with
really,
the
really.
yeah, go ahead, Scrawn.
Oh wait, this is the finals, right? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This was Spartan,
Ad
I think.
Finem. Yeah, Ad Finem got like 3 hits in 3 games. So
Yeah, there were a lot of exchanges. Like, there's also this Puck. I think there was this Puck who used Dream Coil on No Tail on Juggernaut. He was not able to escape and he's just sitting there like a steam duck and just being targeted. There's no choice. He could not escape that clash in the mid lane. I think it was in the in the barracks on the uh, Radiant side. So beautiful Dota there.
Beautiful Doto, right there. Okay, so we just went through the entire thing. How do you feel about the tournament? Was it good? Was it bad?
it was good.
It was pretty
Especially
good.
with that third game
Ah,
from
yeah.
the finals.
Uh-huh.
So much.
This is like the prime example on why you should actually watch Dota. I mean, why
Yeah.
you should actually watch Dota in live screen,
Yeah,
in
and
TV, the
and
monitor, whatever.
to add that, Mephy, Dota 2 has the best storylines ever. We see Ad Finem, the underdogs, the team out of the blue, like taking OG to their limits. That's really why I love Dota competitively, or the competitive scene of Dota.
All right, boys. We just talked about the Boston Major. Looking a little bit forward, I mean, like, when I mean a little bit forward, it's in a couple of hours. 7.00 hits the test client. So how hyped are you guys for this? Because I was losing my mind when I saw the video. I'm
Yeah,
very
it,
hyped.
it
Yeah.
gave me chills, man. Cause you know me, I was playing Dota 2 when it was still 6 point, I think 27. So seeing that video, seeing the milestones, seeing all the cosmetics that were added in the game, all of the features, and we're going to have a patch that will shake it up. I really hope for the two Roshans and maybe another lane. Maybe
Tusha.
add more players, add more. I don't know. I just
How
want
about
just want
how about that
to.
Slack? How about that Slack's idea? Uh,
Slax's idea when neutral ships kills
Oh
heroes, they will
no,
jump up,
please, no.
gonna
jump
be
to
leveled up.
predators. Yeah,
Please,
so
no.
I'm just really excited. Just want to sleep right now, then wake up later and see the patch and what happened. You
I
know.
think
It's gonna be on the
personally for
deadline
me,
though.
it's not
Mm,
a
yeah.
big change, but I think the lost ancient, because there's still an ancient that's from the WC3 days that haven't been ported yet. I think because they're considering the balance issues with the current the way Nikes is built. I forgot
But
what the exact term for that ancient, but there's an
uh,
ancient that hasn't been ported yet.
I know that ancient. That's like the dragon. It's like the walking. For I don't know. I forgot the name as well. You're right. But Scrawn, come on. They're all saying that this is going to be a major patch, like a big
Yeah,
patch that will change
it's
the game.
technically the
Come on, don't
patch that
think about
keeps the WC3 days. It's the
don't think
patch.
about don't think about the porting, man. Just think about the future of Dota 2, making it not stale, making it more fresh, and makes us hook more on the game. What do you think? What's the most game changing patch or the game changing update? What do you think, Scrawn? Come on,
I personally
that
don't
will
think
change the
it's
mechanics.
gonna change a lot. I mean, there might be new heroes. I'm pretty sure there are new heroes. There may be balance changes, and we all know who the new hero will be: Wukong, the Monkey King, and so there may be more heroes that we don't know about, since the last time it jumped from 5 to 6, 10 new heroes was added. So
There were rumors that they're gonna add three heroes with Monkey King. So
3.
yeah, there's
yeah,
rumors. I think I read an
I
article
think the
about that.
second one is the rumor. The second rumored one is the one from the Anti-Mage and from the Anti-Mage comic and the Anti-Mage in Windrunner comic.
Oh yeah, you're
I think
right.
Necromancer.
Yeah, the Necromancer. That's hype, man. I would
Well,
like.
the third
Uh,
one can easily be Gambler. I mean, if you want
oh
change,
shit!
why not
No,
get
Shut
Gambler?
the
no,
fuck
not that
up, dude.
guy.
Shut the fuck up.
I'd rather not though.
You know what I think?
Well,
That's where
that
Those,
alliance itself, there's like three rumored heroes. We all know the Monkey King is the first one. The second is the one from the comics. The third one, why not Gambler? I mean, we
Why
already
yeah,
not
have
Gambler.
Techies? Why
Oh my
not
god,
well,
Techies?
I
The
actually
fuck?
just remembered Gambler. I was actually playing him with AIs before. I just remembered him.
you want to
I
know
mean,
what I think about the new patch? It's gonna be new. Oh, there's gonna be
minus
summoner
one in
spells.
front for Crystal
What?
Maiden.
There's summoner
What?
spells. There's
What?
gonna be summoner
No,
spells.
no,
New
I'd
spells?
rather quit Dota.
Oh yeah, I don't like new spells, man. The spells are light.
What
It's like
what in heroes are going to be called champions now?
I think
oh no.
that's gonna be that's the biggest change right there. They're not called heroes. They're gonna be called
Cha-
champions.
League of
champions.
Ancients, guys. Here we go. They're gonna add some pushes. They're gonna add two Roshans and name one a dragon I don't
No,
know
no,
what.
no. You know what's gonna happen? It's gonna be like Marvel versus Capcom. It's gonna be like League of Legends champions and Dota 2 champions as well. They're gonna like fighting each other.
Uh,
And then
um,
there's gonna be a new platform. Like there's gonna be Dota versus LoL or something.
Oh, I remember this map that was equally popular with Dota before. I think it was during the 5 series, 5 version of Dota, wherein there's just so many maps to play. I think it was like Heroes Sky Arena. I forgot.
I think
Where
Sky.
basically there's like a time limit. And every time limit, they two heroes get poached and sent to a circular hilltop arena, and they just battle it out to the death. That could happen. I mean, why not? Dota versus LoL. Every 10-minute mark, two heroes get poached and will battle it out. And you know
What?
you have if it's like a scoreboard for Dota and LoL. Why not?
Yeah,
Why
though
not?
in a serious sense, actually, with this 7 patch, I
Oh,
think I'm.
we're serious.
Oh really? Oh really?
I mean, at this
well,
point of time, we don't know anything. We're
well,
just
fine.
drawing straws.
Well,
So I
fine.
mean,
In my
anything is up in the
perspective,
air.
Mm.
well, in my perspective, I think the 7 patch is not just for like the updates. I think there's gonna be a brand new cosmetic as well.
Maybe.
Maybe
We all
Maybe.
know the
Cosmetics.
Juggernaut Arcana is
no, not hero
just
cosmetic. Like
Clones. I like
like
this.
yeah, like the client itself. Like there's gonna be change
The
in
UI. You're
the
talking
UI.
about the UI.
I think there's gonna be big changes
Yes.
for that one. Like I think there was already an introduction for like the stuns and disable, so I think they might try on
Mm.
becoming more flexible on that one, on that
Make
aspect. So
Dota 2.
maybe there's gonna be a damage calculator automatically being like like there's gonna be like play by play damage that you can actually instead of like in the console you can
in
actually top
terms
it
of
up some
change. I don't really want to touch the game more. I
exactly.
do wish more options for casters and analysts to
Yeah,
hear about.
that that could be good as well. Like maybe there's going to be a UI for like analysts or like casters to have more of that play by play analysis or maybe that like quick replay or something like that instead of just rewinding and finding that
How about a ghost mode? I mean, that's really
Ghost
good
mode.
for training. And it's I don't know if it's a dying feature, but it used to be highly featured in like PS2, PS3 days, especially in
Oh, I
Yeah.
think
driving
so. Yeah.
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
wherein you when you record your time and you fight your ghost like your best time. So that's actually I think a good thing. I don't know. I don't know how they'll implement it, but I see it as a good thing for like farming heroes, or for example, you're trying to beat your time at getting Battle Fury and Anti Mage or something. I
Well,
can see it being confusing to you, but if you're the only one seeing it, for example, you're seeing the a ghost version of your anti-mage roaming around and what your anti-mage did.
yeah,
Farm.
it will help you. It will help you a lot because you could, learn
Especially if you
from your
could download
mistakes.
some pro players Ghost or something like RTZ's
Yeah.
Ghost, you
So you could
get the
follow
farming
it.
pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's the patch said it was said that to be uploaded is game changing. So I think it's going to be on more on the mechanics of the game,
Yeah.
uh, the face of the game. Not
One thing that
really.
one thing
Yeah.
that comes to mind is something like an uphill miss. That's one of the things that's kind of like it's a mechanic of the game that's not really
Healing.
present in
Yeah.
other kinds of games. It could be it's very game changing if you somehow like completely scrap the uphill miss because
Yeah.
no you
It will. It will.
yeah that's what I think.
Or the
I think
turn
it's
rate. The turn rate will
The
be.
turn rate's really
Yeah.
big.
yeah maybe casting point as well.
This,
Something like that.
what's this keys to move? Really, Scrawn? Really, Scrawn?
WASD,
It's gonna be and it's gonna
we're
be
freaking Overwatch, dude.
Oh my
first person
Yeah,
Dota.
it's gonna be
You
FPS.
already have first person view. Why not?
Why
If you're
not
gonna
really
if you're
use
gonna
it?
pick sniper, then you're just
Why
going
not?
to use assassinate first person. You have to hit it or you'll
Index.
just miss.
It's
Index.
actually it's actually pretty entertaining. Have you seen Bulldog's first
Yeah, I think
person
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
that's
saw
matches?
that
the
They're
video.
video.
I
pretty
did.
So
entertaining.
that was funny. Well, Index, I think we could do is like the four of us give one major prediction or one prediction for or the next patch, and let's
Yeah,
see
man.
who's get it right.
You know what?
Okay.
I
Okay.
really wanted to say that, but you guys were just like rambling on, and
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
really didn't want to stop you because
Sorry.
it's very
I'm
interesting.
sorry.
So yeah, I'm throwing mine out there. Summoner spells.
What?
That's a real thing. That's a
What?
real thing.
Really? Really?
I think
Not
so. I
Uh,
think so.
yeah, maybe not summoner spells like maybe like an auto blink, or maybe I
oh,
think I
the
would go
point.
for like
Um,
Maybe
I would go for like
maybe like a fairy fire. A fairy
yeah,
fire.
yeah, exactly, like an improved
Yeah.
very fire instead of having one on your item, but
Uh,
maybe mana
Um,
regen as well, like emergency mana regen, emergency mana, emergency
I
help,
see. I see.
something like
it's
that.
What
not
if
out of the
there's
park.
Yeah.
Mine is
you're
an overhaul on the
oh,
items. I mean, with the newly additioned items like Echo Saver and the Sword, Octarine Core, Lotus Orb, and all the others, it a lot of old items from WC3 days have been overshadowed, and they really do need rework. Like let's say Sangen Yasha and Rod of Atos. Among the few things, I feel like a third level item introduction to an upgrade would be nice, or a
yeah.
rework on the
You,
recipe
you,
would be nice. That's one of my predictions.
yeah, you could
Rework
combine
on the old
uh,
WC3 items.
you could combine Divine Rapier and Radiance. That's the
What?
next. That's the next.
What?
That's the next item. Now, my prediction is, hear me out. You will like get or pay something that will add stats to your heroes, and it will be called
Oh,
runes. And
tomes, like tomes before.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just joking.
It
No, I'm
could be,
just
it could be, it
Okay.
could be.
no. My
That
major
used to be a
prediction
thing.
is, yeah, it was.
or or
They
maybe it
were
could be like maybe it could be like durational like stat, like you're going to get like 5 stats or like 10 stats and like
yeah.
500
That's
gold
like
and
what
like
uh, what do you call the experience book? I forgot what's
Oh,
Tomo, sa
Tome
Tomo.
of Knowledge. Yeah, you're
Tomo.
right.
Yeah.
Actually, my prediction or the most biggest thing that will happen to Dota will be the map. The map will be changed. Something will happen. The map. We'll have 3 Roshans, 5 Roshans.
It keeps on
Like
increasing.
all
Well,
of the camp. Yeah, I don't know. That's my
one
prediction.
of my additional predictions is taunts. Taunts will trigger a response
Trigger.
from the enemy. For example, a Tidehunter taunt within a radius of Kunkka would trigger a salty Kunkka, like
Yeah, I
a
think
salty
there's
response.
yeah, I think there's
I
like
I just
already an
I
automatic
just
Yeah, but
had
response.
a
yeah, there's a
like a genius
response
thought.
already, but those are I think from kills and among
Yeah.
other things. But I want a response like the let's say a taunt has like a radius, and within that radius, say Tidehunter uses his taunt, and Kunkka is within that radius. I want a salty response from Kunkka.
I just had a genius thought. I don't know why we didn't think about this. You can buy a seventh item slot. I think
Yeah,
it's
Oh,
very
exactly. What
realistic.
I
yeah.
hate you. You
Yeah.
stole my idea though.
Nice.
You
It's
stole
like
my idea.
you could put like a bag, or you could put something inside it. I don't know. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're
Yeah.
right. That's very. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
guys took all of my
Or you can buy an additional slot.
What? That's
Yeah,
what you
No,
said.
that's what I
it's a
just
late game.
explained.
That's what
yeah.
you said.
It's a late game. I mean, additional slots are a late game thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
10,000 gold
yeah,
is
ten
what I
thousand
think.
gold to buy an additional slot. Why not?
Hmm.
All right, boys, we're just
Yeah.
about ready to wrap this thing up. Any more things you want to say?
I think we're really, we don't know, we don't have something that we can surely believe in, because it's
Apart
up
from
and
the
about.
new heroes. Apart
Yeah,
from
the
the
new
new
hero,
hero.
yes, but
Mm.
after that we don't know shit. So
Yeah.
what we can do is really wait for it and
Mm.
be excited for it and just be rejuvenated as a Dota player. So that's it. I
That's it.
guess.
All right.
Yeah.
So
So gender
yeah,
Sorry. So for
Sorry.
generally it's like going to be. I'm pretty sure there's going to be like a UI changes. Like there's going to be a map changes as well. Like maybe they'll add more cliffs. Maybe they'll add more warding stations or something like that. Also, maybe add like creeps or something like that, or like add or maybe there's like a super mode for those.
Roxas
See,
respawn.
Yeah.
that's not cool. I don't think. It's completely not out of the question, though. I think. All right. We just nerded out for like an hour, over an hour. There's a reason why I freaking wanted to start this thing early, but we are now just about done with our podcast. Just a few reminders here and there. Next major will be in Kiev, Ukraine. Crazy
V,
Ukrainian
V,
fans. Navi, VP, all these Ukrainian kinds of teams. What do you think? Just a quick like prediction on how that major is gonna go.
If it's going to be, is it going to be PJL as well? Who's going to
I believe
organize
it's
the?
PGL as well.
I don't
Or
have any
I think
problems.
no, I think it's gonna be the same as the Moscow.
Oh, the epicenter? Really?
Epicenter. I think it's I don't know. It's the nearest one. I was
Wait,
assuming it
I
would
saw
be
a
since how
post.
well they did with Epicenter.
Wait, I saw a post by PGL that they were going to get.
Oh, if
Yeah,
it is,
yeah,
then I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
mind. PGL
yeah.
is doing a good job. I was just assuming
Yeah.
it would
PGL,
be
PGL,
same as.
PGL. It's PGL, PGL. Yeah. Anyways, well, PGL, like Ron said, or Scron said that we don't have any problems with PGL. PGL after Manila Majors was like god level. When after Boston Majors, they're still they still deserve
The battle
organizing.
view is a bit shaky. They keep trying to
Out
put the
view.
battle view in, and just the viewers are just not liking it. They keep going back to the drawing board, and that. Hopefully, with Kiev Major, they get it right.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
The only thing I'm hoping for Kiev major is the visa issues. I hope that I'm not exactly sure what is the rules for whatever visa rules have to be applied with Ukraine. But I'm pretty sure that is going to be more easier than the USA. So I'm really
Actually
hoping this.
looking it up.
Yeah,
I'm
really
actually going.
hoping I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that there's not going to be that much difficulty with in terms of players actually like going to go there for the tournament. So maybe this time execution will be invited because of that terrible issue that they had with Boston.
Okay. Guys, I'm checking their website, like the Ukrainian immigration or the visa, that the
Yeah,
visa.
Okay.
So
a lot can
okay,
change. Like I'm pretty sure it's easier.
okay, yeah, I think so. Cause what I forgot what tournament was that? It was like years back, when Mineski went to, or is it Mineski or was it?
It was Mineski.
I think it's Mineski or Excretion. Yeah, Excretion. Yeah, Excretion. Execution went to, I don't know if it's Ukraine, but they went to Europe. Yeah, it's a star ladder thing. Is it Ukraine? Budapest. Or is it Budapest? Ukraine. Well, they didn't have any problems with that. So, yes, Ukraine will be lax than the United States.
Well,
So,
to be fair, Execration didn't have any problems with the international, and they still got shafted with the Boston Major. But I feel like anything can happen. We just hope for the best.
I think Bam Aquino was the one who's responsible for that one. So
The
I'm not
international, yeah.
Yeah, international. I'm not exactly sure if he was. No, he was not responsible for the Boston major. So
No, I feel
there's
like
no
yeah, they couldn't.
sleight of
They
hand,
couldn't.
no influence from the politics here in the Philippines. Anyways,
All
Anyway, so
right.
another thing is the SEA esports should be up by January in time for the new year, a new phase for SEA esports as well, a new platform, and also streaming and casting. Hopefully, once
Uh-huh.
once we settle down.
hmm We have a website. It's going to be up for a little bit. We're also going to be trying to get into streaming, casting some games for our content here on SEA Esports. And a big congratulations to Fantastic Gaming. They won the Mountain Dew Challenge, or what's
Oh
that thing called?
yeah, thank you challenge. I think
Uh-huh.
it's yeah. Congrats to Sewell also and his boys.
Team.
Uh-huh.
They just
Yeah.
they
They wrecked
from
them.
what I've seen, yeah, from what I've seen, there were some two O's
They're,
there.
Mhm.
yeah, they're actually looking to be like a top tier 2 team or top tier 3 team. So
Yeah, they're breaking in
let's
there, I
hope.
think.
Hopefully they break through with Kiev. Fantastic Gaming is doing a good job with consecutive first place from what I've seen from Sue, and that's really good.
Mm.
All right, boys, we're just about done. But before we end this episode, we've got a little bit of a special thing for us. We've never done this before. It's called the surprise question of the episode. It's gonna be really quick, no explanations. Just give me your answer, very quick. You don't have any idea about the questions, right? They've never told you
Yeah,
about this.
yeah. It was a surprise. What the fuck is this
All
index?
right.
You didn't sign up for this?
You told me. You told me. No, just kidding.
Yeah, well, not the question. Just that there's gonna be a surprise. So, very quickly, very quickly, who is the MVP of the Boston Majors?
As for
Jerax! Come on, guys.
Jerax,
Maybe
well,
next
I'm
time.
not as for.
Maybe
Yeah.
next
I have
time.
to give it.
Yo,
to-
no. Actually, maybe next time. Or
No, I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
explain. It's as
Oh
for.
my god.
For Sumail, the most
uh,
American
for-
Pakistani.
Mine is a personal.
Uh,
It's
I'm not,
Jerax.
I was caught off guard by this question. Oh my god. Everyone is 10.
Right, so there's Smail, there's who said Smail? Somebody got Smail.
I did. I'm
Red.
sorry. I actually went for S4. I just
Okay,
said
S-
American Pakistani.
S4, I got maybe next time. Mephy got Jerax, and Scrawn got
Jerax as well.
Jerax. Okay, so we just ended the episode. That's a really long episode, but I really enjoy making these podcasts. Thank you guys so much for listening to us, keeping us in the background. My name is Index. I'm with Red Ron, Scrawn, and Mephy with Overdrive in the back, doing the production for us. We will see you the next time we see you guys. Take care.